morning. I'm going to read a story to you about the invisible boy. Can you see Brian, the invisible boy? Even Miss Carlotti has trouble noticing him in her classroom. She's too busy dealing with Nathan and Sophie. Nathan has problems with what Miss Carlotti calls volume control. He uses his outside voice inside too much. Sophie whines and complains when she doesn't get her way. Nathan and Sophie take up a lot of space and Brian doesn't. When the bell rings for recess, Micah and JT take turns choosing kids for the kickball teams. The best players get picked first. Then the best friends of best players. Then the friends of the best friends. Only Brian is left, still waiting and hoping. JT glances in Brian's direction and, just as quickly, looks away. We've got enough players for each team, he tells the others. Let's play ball. In the cafeteria, Madison and her friends talk about her birthday party. The rope swing over pool was awesome, says JT. Yeah, so was the water slide, asks Fiona. That was the best pool party ever. I'm so glad you guys had fun, says Madison. Everybody did except for Brian. He wasn't invited. At choosing time, while the other kids played board games and read, Brian sits at the table doing what he loves to do best. He draws fire-breathing dragons scaling tall buildings and space aliens locked in intergalactic battles, and superheroes with power to make friends wherever they go. Greedy pirates digging for treasure. On Monday morning, Miss Carlotti introduces Justin, a new student, to the class. Brian smiles shyly at him. Some of the other kids sneak looks at Justin, trying to figure out if he's cool enough to be their friend. They haven't quite made up their minds yet. At lunch, Madison and JT watch Justin eat chopsticks. What's that? Asks Madison as she points at Justin's food. It's called bulgogi. It's a Korean barbecue beef. My grandma made it for me. It's really good. Do you want to try some? No way. I eat bulgogi. And the kids laugh, all of them. That's it, said Brian. He sits there wondering which is worse, being laughed at or feeling invisible. The next day, when Justin goes to his cubby to put away his backpack, he notices a piece of paper with his name on it. Justin, I thought that bulgogi looked good. Brian, yum. At morning recess, Brian finds a piece of chalk on the ground and starts drawing away. You're Brian, right? Yeah, thanks for the note. Hey, Justin, Amelia calls out from the teeter-ball court. You're up next. Sorry, I gotta go, says Justin. By the way, that's a really cool drawing, he asks before taking off. Back in class, Miss Carlotti asks the kids to team up in twos or threes for a special project. The kids scurry around the room to pair off. Brian heads towards Justin. I'm already with Justin, says Emilio. Find someone else. Brian looks at the floor, wishing he could draw a hole right there to swallow him up. Miss Carlotti said, we have up to 3 people in our group. We're only 2. Come on, Emilio, let us work with us together. Okay, I guess. Miss Carlotti gives the class directions for the project. Your assignment is to work together to write a story about what you see in the photograph. Use your imagination and have fun. Ooh, cool, says Emilio. What kind of people do you think would live in a house like that? I don't know, but I bet Brian could draw them to go with our story, says Justin. Brian smiles as he takes out his lucky pen. Their crooked story we made up on the spots. It's lunchtime again, Brian's least favorite part of the day. Another 20 long minutes of kids talking and laughing with everyone else but him. Brian, he hears someone shout, "Hey Brian, over here." And Brian turns and sees Justin waving over him. Emilio knocks at Brian, and he makes room for him at the table. Maybe, just maybe, Brian's not so invisible after all. Cookie? Thanks. The end.